I will talk with my team. Ten Hag refuses to discuss Man Utd concerns after Newcastle loss. Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag said, I will talk with my team rather than answering what his biggest concern for Manchester United is this season after defeat to Newcastle United. United's form has been somewhat middling this season. They find themselves 7th in the Premier League, having won 8 of their 14 games, losing each of the other 6. They're also at risk of dropping out of the Champions League, as they're bottom of their group, a point behind the two sides above them, Copenhagen and Galatasaray. In their last 5 games in all competitions, United have lost 4-3 to the Danish side, before throwing away a 3-1 lead against the Turkish opponents to draw 3-3. While there were also a pair of league wins, against Luton and Everton, in that run, the latest game saw United beaten 1-0 by Newcastle, who leapfrogged them in the table in the process. While he stated that it was a tough start to the game for his team while speaking to TNT Sports after the game, Ten Hag refused to admit what his biggest concern was at the loss, giving the same answer when asked about Marcus Rashford's form. We had a tough first half and said at halftime we were pleased to be in the game. We had a good comeback in the last part of the game. We will talk tomorrow with the team about it. We go back, we will talk about this and move into Wednesday, Ten Hag said. As I said, I will talk with my team. We had some chances. We thought we scored a goal but it was offside. We could have scored. I will talk to him, Rashford, and not the media. While Ten Hag likely feels he's protecting his players, it could be seen as a bad sign that he's refusing to address what the problems are. Give me Havertz. Bent cuts down 78 goal place striker by admitting he'd rather have Arsenal man. Sancho back, among Man Utd, marginal gains, as Ratcliffe's not going to tiptoe around Ten Hag. In any case, the United manager feels his plan will work going forwards. This team is resilient. We have seen it after loss against Manchester City. We had a bad defeat and we stick together. We have a plan and we keep going, Ten Hag added. Newcastle 1-0 Man Utd, Magpies move 5th as Gordon strike hauls them above United, Spurs. Man Utd manager search, Ten Hag replacement still unclear as report states De Zerbi on the cusp of decision. Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag could be replaced by Brighton coach Roberto De Zerbi. A report claims manager Roberto De Zerbi is likely to sign a new deal with Brighton, putting an end to speculation he will move to Manchester United. The 44-year-old has been a revelation since replacing Graham Potter as Seagulls chief. The Italian has won more than 48% of the games in which he has managed. And he led the Amex Stadium outfit into Europe, with a 6th-place finish giving them a Europa League berth. Far from being intimidated by playing in Europe, the South Coast outfit have already secured a spot in the knockout round playoffs. Victory over Marseille in their final Group B clash will ensure safe passage into the knockout stage without the need for a playoff. They are also sitting just outside the Premier League top 6 and in good shape to challenge for a European place next term. De Zerbi's work has not gone unnoticed. And rumors persist that he is being lined up to replace Erik ten Hag at Old Trafford. There have also been links to Real Madrid, with Football España suggesting that there has been contact between Los Blancos and the Brighton boss. Whether that is true is open to debate, but Carlo Ancelotti has been tipped to leave next summer. De Zerbi's style of play has won him many plaudits and they are generally considered one of the most entertaining Premier League teams. And that is despite losing the likes of Moises Caicedo and Alexis Mac Allister during the summer window. Leandro Trossard, Yves Bissouma, Marc Cucurella and Neil Maupay are other big-name players to have left. But Brighton keep progressing as a club. De Zerbi set to remain with Brighton. Ten Hag arrived at Manchester United to much fanfare, lauded for his work with Ajax. He did win silverware last term when the Red Devils beat Newcastle in the final to claim the EFL Cup. However, it has been tough for his side this term despite the fact they have won 8 of 14 Premier League games. United have lost 5 already and are on the brink of exiting the Champions League. And with just a home clash against Bayern Munich to come, it may be that all European participation is over by the turn of the year. That would heap further pressure on the Dutch tactician. De Zerbi is said to be the club's #1 target. But Football Insider are reporting that he is likely to extend his stay with Brighton. The club is preparing a new contract for the 44-year-old ex-Shakhtar Donetsk coach, who has also been linked with Manchester City. And it has been suggested he is happy with his present employers and has no plans to leave. The former midfielder is currently under contract until 2026, but that may all change in the near. Keep an eye on this. Fabrizio Romano backs Arsenal to beat Man Utd to sign classy Bear star Team Talk. United are interested in Serhou Guirassy. Image, Sebastian L. Saka. Manchester United are interested in Serhou Guirassy and could reportedly land the Stuttgart striker for just £15 million. Erik ten Hag is keen to bring a new striker into his squad in January to help support Rasmus Højlund. Guirassy has an incredible 15 goals in 10 Bundesliga appearances this season, second only in Germany to Harry Kane. The 27-year-old is said to be flattered by interest and has not ruled out a move. Elsewhere, Saturday's trip to Newcastle is huge in the race for the top four, with Ten Hag no doubt aware of what a victory will mean for his team's confidence. He will face questions from the media where the topic of Onana is likely to be touched upon. We should also gain a clearer understanding of the players Ten Hag has to choose from this weekend, with centre-back Johnny Evans the injured player most likely to be in line for a return. Kobbie Mainoo meanwhile was dropped in Turkey but was introduced in the second half. Some questions at today's press conference may focus on whether the teenager will be recalled to the squad. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe has confirmed he won't welcome anyone back for the game, meaning the Magpies could be without 11 first-team players. Keep across the latest United news in our live blog below. Round up from United's treatment room. Things appear to be easing on the injury front at United as they welcomed Antony and Rasmus Højlund back on Wednesday night. Here are the 7 players they will have to check up on before the Newcastle game. Mason Mount calf. Christian Eriksen knee. Casemiro hamstring. Lisandro Martinez foot. Johnny Evans thigh. Tyrell Malacia knee. Amad Diallo knee. Fernandes future. United have an option to recall Alvaro Fernandes in January, but the young defender is focused solely on performing for Granada. He told Spanish outlet COPE. In football, I think you can't make long-term plans. I know that this year I'm here. Well, United have the option of taking me back at Christmas, but now it's my commitment to help this team. Guirassy latest. United's January pursuit of Serhou Guirassy could depend on finding a buyer for Anthony Martial, according to The Guardian. Erik ten Hag is open to signing the striker in January, along with a right-sided centre-back and 2 midfielders. Ten Hag warned. Former United striker Louis Saha has questioned Erik ten Hag's harsh treatment of more experienced squad members. The concern comes after Raphael Varane has been dropped in recent weeks, after being usurped by Harry Maguire. Saha told bettingodds.com. The thing I can see with Ten Hag is he tends to be willing to make more harsh selection decisions on the players that have way more experience than the young players who still have a lot to learn. These players are the finished product, and it's clear Ten Hag will say if you don't perform for 2 or 3 games then you are out, which maybe gives a strong message to the rest of the players that if Varane or Casemiro can be dropped, then anybody can be. That could be good, but it is a risky strategy for Ten Hag. I feel like you have to give those players a bit more respect because they didn't join United to sit on the bench. Guéhi decision. Marc Guéhi wants to stay at Crystal Palace for the rest of the